Hello class, my name is Sante Jarrett. I am a student at TCC. My major is in communications. And today we will be talking about what happens when you get a concussion in football. So, this is my first question. Have you or your loved ones ever had a concussion in a sporting event? Well, if the answer is yes, do you know how to properly treat a concussion? If the answer is no, I will teach and tell you how. But first, let me introduce myself. Hello everyone, I am Sante Jarrett, a student in public speaking at TCC. I will teach and guide you of how people get concussions and how to properly treat one. Then I will provide 2 to 3 videos of NFL or college players getting a concussion. Lastly, I will give a conclusion of everything I informed you guys, and I hope that you guys would learn this and remember it if somebody gets a concussion. And the next section will be a list of 10 different NFL/college players that had their careers almost or completely sidelined from a concussion. So here's the list: Steve Young, Ricardo Lockett, Kevin Cole, Andre Waters, Casey Cochran, Clint Trickett, Javed Best, and there are others. This will grow if people keep playing the dangerous sport but do not know the risks behind it. So, what I will be sharing with you tonight is the time where I had gotten a concussion myself. So yes, this was when I first ever played organizational football, like ever. So I will never forget this one time where I was playing organizational football. And yes, I was 7 years old when this happened, and it was my first ever football game. So with me not being able to use to their heads, because once again, it's my very first football game, like ever, I got hit hard to the ground, and I couldn't see everything because everything was pitch black. So I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with a minor concussion. But the good thing is, everything went back to normal after a couple weeks. But the one I saw on live TV, was when I'm a Cowboys fan, so the Cowboys were playing the Seahawks. And the Cowboys punter had just punted the ball, and Ricardo Lockett, I'm guessing, was trying to return it or block, and he had gotten hit hard by Jeff Heath. So what happened then next was he didn't move. He didn't even move his leg or his arm. He didn't move not a thing on his body. So he got picked up. He was on a stretcher, and after that, he had gotten diagnosed with a concussion, and he retired from the league. Yes, he retired from the league. So, what are concussions and how do you get them? A concussion is when someone is temporarily unconscious or confused by a blow to the head, or it could be a violent shock from a big blow to your head. It could easily mess up your brain temporarily or your entire life if not properly treated. So, the following symptoms of a concussion is when your speech is slurred, nauseated, feeling pressure to the head, and there's many other symptoms. So watch yourselves out there. So, the effects of a concussion, I have stated some in the last slide, but the long-term effects include depression. So they may be sad for the rest of their lives because they had a concussion. Memory problems, because they won't be able to memorize everything once again because they had a concussion. Unable to concentrate, so they might not be able to focus on their schoolwork, their job, etc., and many more. These are the prices that you are paying when you're playing a dangerous sport like football, basketball, baseball, soccer, etc. Every sport can be dangerous, but football is one of the most dangerous sports. You have to be safe around. in that sport. How can you treat a concussion? Well, there's one way you could treat a concussion is by resting mentally and physically. For an example, limit activities that you would normally do, like playing video games, watching television, etc. And there is another way for a cure, which is to avoid any physical things that could possibly increase the symptoms, or not until they don't increase the symptoms anymore. So, like, if you don't want to play football again if you literally just got a concussion because you need to rest. But don't completely rest because that will not cure concussion. It will not. So, and also you might want to limit the activities that you do, like your schoolwork, video games, watching TV, all of that stuff that you would normally do at home. And the next step afterwards is to slowly go back to your daily routine. Don't rush into it. Just slowly go back so you can do it without getting symptoms. So, moving on. There is 3 videos that I want to show you guys for each slide. So, if I could just hit it. Alright, and here's the first video. Sorry for the ad. Okay, this is the first concussion that we're going to be talking about. And you see that big hit? That's what happens when you take a head-to-head full-on concussion. And you see how he's not moving anymore? That's because he took a big head-to-head hit and got knocked out. That is called a concussion. See, there's a replay. Yikes, people. Yikes. Alright, back to the PowerPoint. So, this hit on Ricardo Lockett happened on a punt. He was trying to attempt to shed so he could tackle the returner, but instead he got laid out by Jeff Heath. After the play, he couldn't move and his career was over. Next, we have a video by Jeffrey Best. Let's watch that. Yikes, people. Yikes. That was nasty. Very nasty. So, he was a running back named Jeffrey Best, hurling over a defender for the touchdown. But as he fell, he got hit by a second defender, and he did a 360 head first, which resulted in a concussion and a broken neck, possibly. So, but the good thing is he went on to the NFL. The bad thing is he retired in only 2 seasons because of the concussions. So here's this third video about a Hall of Famer named Steve Young. This ended his career, ultimately. Sorry for the bad quality, it's kind of old. See, when that second defender hit him face first, that's what happened. There was also another replay here, hopefully. I guess they're not going to show another replay. Yes, they are. Alright, so that was Steve Young getting absolutely rocked by D tackle Warren Sapp and another defender in the pass play, resulting in a concussion, well, maybe his last career game. So, with my point being, if you get a concussion in an NFL or college game, that might be your last game if you don't treat it properly, or if you don't go if you don't go about it right. So, in this summary, we have talked about concussions, the causes and effects, and we had discussed about the 3 videos that I have provided for you guys. I hope you learned about concussions and the causes and the effects a little bit. I want you guys to have fun in whatever sport you're playing, but please be safe about it. Please.